All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Thank you, Effective. I shouldn't even attempt that on a Monday. Thank you very much. Anyhow, so they have totally lost it over getting Trump keeping his promises on removing these people. Now, first of all, if you come across the border, you broke the law. We have the 11 million. They talk about 11 million. You and I know it's much more than 11 million. And they continue to say that they're going to go into schools and the churches, separating families. We hear this over and over. ABC had Tom Homan on there. But before, I'm trying to think of what order I want to go in. Before I do that, oh, by the way, the security details. Give me number 78. I just want to say this to America. And I have to get focused here. But the security details that they're all complaining about that Trump removed, Trump cuts Fauci's security detail off. Why would the man that told us to trust the science need a pardon? Why would the man that told us to trust the science need a pardon? Folks, remember, every time they talk about January 6th, all right? Every time they talk about January 6th, 2021, and that Trump put out 1,500 blanket pardons, no one was killed that day. Ashley Babbitt was killed. No police officers were killed that day. All right. No children were raped that day from January 6th, 2021 at the Capitol. No women were raped that day. The list goes on. Joe Biden pardoned thousands. He pardoned murderers, pedophiles, people that raped children, raped women, convicted of very dangerous crimes, flat out criminals. Nothing said. Anthony Fauci, don't forget, he pardoned a man that has responsibility. He pardoned people on the January 6th committee. But this guy right here, following the science, he pardoned a man. Your dad died alone in a hospital. Your mom died alone in a hospital. Your grandparents died alone. Okay. They died alone in nursing homes. These people are responsible for the death of thousands. Donald Trump didn't kill anyone. He didn't start a new war. Not responsible for killing anyone, starting a new war, nothing. The people of January 6th are not responsible for killing anyone. 2021, starting a war, nothing. You know, if I hear back the blue one more time, you know what? The danger this morning for the blue, the men and women across this country, is putting on the uniform and trying to secure our country once again and remove gang members, violent gang members, murderers, rapists, all across this country, the danger they're stepping into that the Democrats created. Democrats, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, these people created this crisis, and law enforcement this morning to try to protect our neighborhood. Give me number 67. Law enforcement knocking on doors. Go ahead and give me 68. Trey Diagua, is that what it is? The gang in Colorado? So every time you hear back the blue, and the White House, I mean the Washington Capitol Police, keep in mind, all across this country today, the situation that our law enforcement is in, trying to protect you and I and our country from an invasion that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats allowed to happen. So I'm tired of hearing about that on January 6th. They're the ones that do not support the men and women and the law enforcement in uniform today across this country because of the position they put them in. They're the ones that don't back the blue. I don't want to hear that. So Anthony Fauci, responsible. These people are responsible. Joe Biden is responsible for thousands being killed. Joe Biden allowed Russia to cross over into Ukraine, and there's 1 million plus people dead. That's right. Anthony Fauci and what those people allowed, millions of people are dead. What happened with Israel over there and that attack? Thousands of people are dead. Not one law enforcement officer was killed January 6th. Period. So I am so tired. Look, I don't wish any harm, but I don't care Anthony Fauci doesn't have a security detail. You know what? Your mom, your dad, your grandparents, they died alone. These people should have never been pardoned for their crimes. All right, so this is the one I shouldn't have got on that, because every time I think of these pardons that Joe Biden has given to people that raped children and murderers and the most vile people that I keep hearing about January 6th. The news is not running this. I have to give this, is her name Harris Walkner? What's her name? I have to give her credit for running this story. Give me video 21. They're worried, wait a minute. They're worried about the kids in schools and churches and separation from family. They don't run this story. Give me video 21.
The second wave that Tom Homan, the borders are for, Trump has told me about, and all of this will focus on those missing children, hundreds of thousands of them that we know. And that number has started to already come down, Emily, from 300,000. So they've found about 75 to 80,000 of those kids already. If they can get the list of these guys, 4 full days in office for Trump, if they can get the list of where some of those kids have been, and they've been identifying it, you know, since the election, going after them and trying to find those little ones, what in the world was Biden's administration doing? What was Secretary of Homeland Mayorkas doing when he said to the committees on Capitol Hill, we don't know where those kids are, I'll look into it? No, dude, you obviously had a better way to find them, and you didn't do your job. I can't believe they impeached him and didn't remove him.
Kids, innocent kids. You know, they talk about the dreamers all the time, the dreamers. And they talk about the children that were brought here and by no fault of their own went through our schools, and they deserve in-state college tuition like citizens, and they deserve a path to citizenship. That's if you can find them, damn it. Hundreds of thousands of missing children they don't care about. Absolutely do not care about. These kids are in child slavery. Well, I know this audience doesn't need to go much deeper than that. You know. But no, the media, these people in these garbage, they're absolute garbage. So Dr. Phil in Chicago, here's what they're mad about. Go ahead and give me 67. This is Dr. Phil, Tom Homan. They're in Chicago. They are angry because they didn't tip off CNN. They're angry because they didn't tip off MSNBC. And Tom Homan and Dr. Phil right there in Chicago. Let's see, where are they at here? Here it is. I thought I had. Let's see. Do I have Dr. Phil? Let me make sure I got the right one. Here it is. Give me video 16.
What's your name?
Seda.
Seda what? You have a first and last name?
Sam.
Seda Sam?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
B&B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged for it?
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not talking about lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children, and he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh. Let's take them in and process them, lock them up.
Got it, sir.
All right. Is that a transport vehicle?
Working on it. Okay.
Tom Homan out on the streets of Chicago. Tom Homan out on the streets of Chicago. Lock them up. Lock them up. So they went after Tom Homan yesterday. All right. It went after Tom Homan yesterday on ABC about going into schools. Now, they're lying to you. These people are lying to you. Pritzker this morning in Chicago, flat out lying. Where is he at here? Give me. This is the governor of Illinois, video 8, lying because of stuff like this happening in Chicago.
JP Pritzker tells CNN that immigration officials are also rounding up productive community members.
When we're talking about violent criminals who've been convicted and who are undocumented, we don't want them in our state. We want them out of the country. We hope they do get deported. And if that's who they're picking up, we're all for it. They show up with a warrant, and we're going to hand over people who are in our prisons or in our jails who fit that description. Now, what they're also doing, though, and it's quite disturbing, is they're going after people who are law-abiding, who are holding down jobs, who have families here, who may have been here for a decade or 2 decades, and they're often our neighbors and our friends. And why are we going after them? These are not people who are causing problems in our country, and what we need is a path to citizenship for them.
So Pritzker doesn't want his neighbor, the child sex criminal there. Yes, in his sanctuary city that's walking the streets. We don't know when he's going to attack another child. Pritzker doesn't want his neighbors. They're not going after the innocent people. They're not going after the innocent people. Let me just say this right here. If you're out there today and you don't understand that they live in large groups, many of them live in large groups in apartments. So you go to this apartment project, you could have a apartment, you can have an apartment, or you could have a house, 10 or 12 in the house, 7 or 8 in one apartment. And you may have to go look for that one criminal in that apartment, and they're going to find it. And there may be 2 or 3 other illegals in there that maybe don't have any crimes. So what you need to do, if you're living in 20 people in a house, or you're living 8 or 9 in an apartment, that one, you need to push them outside. You need to get them out. You need to call 1-800, get them out of here, because they will come in, and they're going to. They're definitely going to. They're not going after innocent people, but they're going to go in and they're going to get these criminals out of here. Donald Trump promised the American people, and this is what the American people want. They absolutely want this. No one in America, there's only a couple liberal, mostly crying liberals with their tears. You probably watch some of the Chicago teacher videos out there crying about their students. You probably watched, like, in several of the liberal cities across the country, in the Northeast and Chicago and other areas, that they're actually there's mayors of certain liberal towns in the Northeast and other areas of the country. They're posting videos. They're putting up how to avoid ICE. What not to say if you get picked up. Oh, absolutely. They're giving tips. So Tom Homan is asked, what about going into schools? What about going into schools and then churches and so forth? I have one here. Give me, oh, by the way, the military's down on the border. We're going to get into that in just a moment. Give me number 50. Just want to show you something here. Oh. Sorry about that. Just ICE officers told to meet quota of 75 arrests per day. Meet quota. All right. And then give me number 29. Criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest. Period. You got it? Now, the Department of Homeland Security this morning is confirmed. Actually, let's do this. 55. We'll see how she works with Tom Homan and how she follows Donald Trump's. There's Kristi Noem, Department of Homeland Security, John Ratcliffe, CIA, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, and Pete Hegseth, Defense. So there you go. Pete Hegseth this morning is on the job on the southern border, right, with our men. Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense. He will handle this. And Kristi Noem. Now, you will no longer be able to hide in the schools and the churches. I support this 100%. Number 28. Now, Tom Homan removes limits on location ICE agents can target. So, going into schools and churches, give me video 1.
To avoid arrest. What criminals are hiding in schools?
Look,
middle schools, elementary schools. You going to go into those?
How many MS-13 members are the age of 14, 17? Many of them. So, look, if it's a national security threat, public safety threat, and what you need to understand is a case by case. Name another agency, another law enforcement agency that has those type of requirements that they can't walk into a school or a doctor's office or a medical campus. No other agencies have those standards. These are well-trained officers with a lot of discretion, and when it comes to a sensitive location, there's still going to be supervised review. So it's not like it's an open issue. But ICE officers should have discretion to decide if a national security threat or a public safety threat in one of these facilities, then there should be an option for them to make the arrest.
But some.
That's right. We can go. We're going in. MS-13 gang members. These gang members are between 14 and 17 years old. Some younger than that. And I don't care where they're at. We're going to get them. We're going to clean the place up. Give me number. I want to switch, and this is a crop that I cropped out of the New York Post. Fire and ice. J.D. Vance has blistering response for Catholic bishops who criticize ICE raids in churches worried about their bottom line. I watched this interview on Face the Nation yesterday with J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States. And J.D. Vance fired back at the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops over their denunciation of the Trump administration rule change allowing ICE raids in church and schools. Look, these NGOs, and he's right. He said, I'm a practicing Catholic. They're more concerned with their bottom line. Biden has put out, you have to realize the invasion, they talk about where's the money going to come from? Where's the money coming from to deport these people? Where's the money coming from to run all these ICE raids throughout the country? Where is the money coming from? NGOs. Billions and billions of dollars funneling through these places to give Visa credit cards, right? The government said to you, the government said, hey, we're not giving these illegals Visa credit cards loaded with $5,000. No, we're not doing that. We're not giving these illegals phones. We're not giving them apartments. We're not giving them. No, they're giving it to the NGOs that funnel it, take their percent off the top, and claim it's a humanitarian thing to take care of these refugees and take care of these people and these people that have invaded our country from the southern border. J.D. Vance went right back at him. He did not let this sit. So where are you going to get the money, right? Are you going to go into schools? Yeah, we're going to go into schools if we have to. We will. Give me video 2. Where's the money coming from?
There are 11 million undocumented immigrants in this country right now. How can you possibly afford to deport all of those people?
Well, leave it up to Congress. You know, I think Congress, the president has a mandate. This is the number one issue that people voted on. I think Congress has a mandate to give us the money we need. What price you put on national security?
More detention centers?
What price you put on all these young ladies that have been raped and murdered and burned alive? What price you put on that? What price you put on Lincoln Riley's life? What price you put on national security? Like I just explained, when you have a surge like this, we don't secure that border. That's when national security threats enter the country. That's when sex trafficking goes up. That's when the fentanyl comes in that kills 250,000 Americans. I don't put a price on that.
And on those.
What kind of price you putting on that? What price do you put on? Where are you going to get the money? Where are you going to get the money? Let me tell you this, okay? Every agency out there, the government has the money, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to say we don't have the money. We got plenty of money to do this. Plenty of money to do this. Will they take them back? Will they take them back? So yesterday morning, I started out with this. Yesterday morning in this interview, we do not have the planes attempting to land, our military planes in Colombia, when Tom Homan says this. So you think they're doing this and these military planes are taking off. First time ever in this country, we use military planes to get them out of here. Now, Biden had a plan. They were paying commercial airlines to bring them in. We were paying commercial airlines to take them all across the country. Remember Colton Moore, State Senator Colton Moore, all right? In Atlanta, Hartsfield International down there, State Senator Colton Moore went and videoed them coming through, NGOs, bringing them in and placing them and funneling them through the airport. He was told it's every single night. That's what I want to know. I want to know, hey, State Senator Colton Moore, would you ask your colleagues this morning on the State House floor when, let's get word to Tom Homan that State Senator, all right, let me back this up. Let's try this again. Can we get, now that President Trump, because before it was Joe Biden, and we really didn't have anywhere to go with this because God knows Brian Kemp and our people didn't really care. So now we have Tom Homan 1 week. Let me back this up. We have 1 week. We have Tom Homan. Can you guys go set up at the Atlanta airport and see if you can see something happening there? Or maybe we could find these NGOs that been funneling through the Atlanta airport every single night. That's interesting. Okay, so yesterday morning, we're using military planes, loading them up, 900 and some. Donald Trump goes to play golf yesterday. He right from the golf cart. Oh, God. I got to give it to him for being the boss. Give me video 3. I played this earlier. What if they don't take them back? Video 3.
Let's talk about those flights again. With the host countries, you flew all of those people back. Were all of the people arrested on the first day, for instance, repatriated? And what about those countries that won't take them back?
Oh, they'll take them back.
What do you mean by that?
We got President Trump coming to power. President Trump puts America first. Mexico didn't want to remain in Mexico program under the first administration. They did it. They didn't want to put military in the southern border. They did it.
How do you convince them?
El Salvador didn't want to take MS-13 members back. It took President Trump 48 hours to make that happen. President Trump's going to put America first. And if it doesn't, then we'll place my third safe country.
All appointments through the CBP app have been canceled. That is a legal way to claim asylum and get in the country. So what should people do who are seeking asylum? How do you do it?
Go to the embassy, go to the port of entry. Do it the legal way. You shouldn't come to this country and ask to get asylum, and the first thing you do is break our laws by entering illegal.
So tell me what.
All right. Well, first of all, give me number 12. They'll take them back. Now, that was said yesterday morning. They'll take them back. Don't you worry about that. They will take them back. The world, folks, the entire world, Colombia, Panama, Mexico, Russia, the entire world is watching our military down on the southern border. They're watching this. You got to remember, the entire world, from Kim Jong-un to everyone, Xi Jinping, everyone, Trump is the if man. Yeah, Trump is the if. If Trump will do this, what would he do? If Trump will do that, what will he do? If Trump will do this, if Trump will do you realize the entire world? I know I'm getting messages. Some of you again are upset with some of the things he has said on the world stage, but the world, the EU, Greenland, Canada, Mexico, Ukraine, Putin. Do you think Ukraine and Putin know there has to be a deal? I predict that war is over. I predict it's over. I mean, there's still going to be some casualties, some things happen, but that war is over. I predict it's over. We just don't have the final decision on how things will get worked out. Yeah, that's over. Do you not think the world is watching what Trump's done in 5 days? Kim Jong-un? All right, moving right along. So they're watching the border. We're going to go a couple at a time here, Diane. You know what else they're watching? No, I'll get back to that in a minute. I got to do that in a different way. Give me number 17, show of force. Number 18, loading them up. These pictures are everywhere, all over the world. Trump loading them up. Give me number 19. Number 20. Number 22. 23 may be the same thing, but go ahead and hit that one. Then give me number 24. Oh yeah, they're getting the word. They are getting the word. We are closed. Number 25. 26. The barbed wire is going up. We're not worried. Remember when Abbott, the governor of Texas, put the barbed wire and like someone is stuck in the barbed wire in the, was it the Rio Grande or the water? Sorry. Stay on that damn side. You don't get stuck in the barbed wire. Number 27, truckloads. Truckloads going to the border. You don't think that they see this? Number 30, asylum seekers on the other side, sitting there, nowhere to go. The entire world knows this. Number 31, military aircraft used to deport for the first time. Used to deport for the first time. Number 37, you don't think these numbers are going around the world? Because we're getting ready to get up to Colombia. They will take them back. Number 37, 2681 last week alone. Well, I thought you were going to do millions. Well, wait a minute. How come you're not bringing down the price of eggs? That's all I heard all weekend. Yeah, but you promised you'd bring down the price of eggs and you'd bring down people's cost. Your cost will go down. You'll see. Get into that in a minute. 38, Tom Homan. So let me go with this. I'm getting ready to get to Colombia. Give me video. This is what video 9.
In Chicago, fear and uncertainty are spreading quickly over the sweeping immigration raids. CNN's Rosa Flores has those details.
The Trump administration's border czar, Tom Homan, was here in Chicago last year, and he made a promise. He said that Chicago would be ground zero for mass deportations, that Chicago would be the epicenter of these mass deportations, and he has kept his promise. We have learned from ICE officials that immigration agents are in Chicago. They are on the ground, and they are enforcing immigration law. They are doing targeted enforcement of individuals who pose a threat to public safety or a threat to national security. Here's how Tom Homan told a
He's keeping his word. He's keeping his promise. Number 39, initial crackdown, San Diego, Los Angeles. Yes, they're in LA. Cracking down right now. Phoenix, Denver, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami. Sunday, 40. Now, 41, Trump backs off trade threats after Colombia agrees to deportation flights. So, Colombia says, hey, we won't take them. We sent 2 flights. And Colombia said, no, we're not taking them. Okay? So you're not going to take them. No. Hold on, give me 43, Diane. No, we're not going to take them. So the president of Colombia said the U.S. cannot treat Colombian migrants as criminals. No, you're not going to tell Donald Trump that. You're not telling Donald Trump, I deny the entry of American planes carrying Colombian migrants into our territory. The United States must establish a protocol for this dignified a protocol for the dignified treatment of migrants before we receive them. So you can't bring military planes. You can't call them criminals. You got to be a little more dignified. You got to get them like first class seats. You can't put handcuffs on them. They can't show up in handcuffs. Right? Murderers, rapists, MS-13, whatever these gang members are that we're rounding up, Colombia won't take them back unless we stop treating them like the criminals they are with some dignity. So that's the message. So Donald Trump, he's playing golf. He gets the message. Colombia said, you can't bring them here on military planes. They turned our planes around, Mr. President. So 86. So Donald Trump, he's between the 8th and the 9th hole, and 9th hole's a par 3, and he probably said to someone, play through. Go ahead, play through. I gotta slap the SHI asterisk out of Columbia for now, okay? I have to let them know there's a new tariff in town. I love that one from the Post. So for immediate release from the White House, immediate release yesterday, between the 8th and 9th hole, Trump stops and he says, President Donald J. Trump's truth on Colombian sanctions. I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals. You got to stop calling them criminals. Yeah, okay. I told you Trump would go for that. We're not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by the Colombian socialist president Gustavo. Is that his name? Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Only Trump can do this. Petro's denial of these flights have jeopardized national security and public safety of the United States. So I have directed my administration to immediately take the following actions. Emergency. Now. Before I round and go to the back 9. You can't make this up. Trump's on the front 9. Before I get to the back 9, here's what's going to happen down there, Pedro. You ready? 25% tariff on all goods coming into the United States in 1 week. The 25% tariff will be raised to 50% within a week, okay? A travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. Colombia, out. I don't care who you are. Your embassy, out. Your visa, out. Leave today. You leave today. You the dignitaries, you want dignity? Get your ass on the next plane, get the hell out of my country. I'm telling you can't make this up. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds. So, and anything that does come to the border, we're going to say, like, okay, it's like going through the checkpoint at the airport. I got flagged. Like, you go in, you put your bag through, you put your arms up, you do, excuse me, could you step over here? That would be every single thing from Colombia trying to come into this country, even legally. Can you step over here for a minute? Just need to talk to you. We're going to go through your cargo. So Trump, before he gets on the back 9, now, here's what happens. Okay? Number 52. The Colombian president says, here's from Caroline Levitt, right? Is that her name? The new White House press secretary. U.S.-Colombian agreement. The government of Colombia has agreed to all the president's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned from the, give me 53, the United States, including on U.S. military aircraft. Without limitations or delay, President Trump will continue to fiercely protect our nation's sovereignty. So we backed away from the tariffs. I mean, look, guy said, hey, sorry. Trump will, all right? Trump will bankrupt. Trump will and can the United States, we can bankrupt these countries. We can bankrupt these countries overnight. 51, White House and Colombia make a deal. What did Tom Homan say in the video? They will take them back. They will. Trust me. They'll take them back. And here's the thing. The American people want them out of here. Now, there is a side, okay? There is a side that they're going to paint fear. But we could do this in a way where we have workers. For those out there that say, well, we need workers. That is not who they're. I know this. The media is running around. Well, nobody showed up on this job site. Nobody showed up here in fear of ICE raids. No one showed up because these NGOs, right? The NGOs, the media, the left, the sanctuary cities, they're putting out. You need to know they're putting out warnings and telling people don't show up for work. They're going to round you up. They're the ones, not Tom Homan, not Donald Trump, not ICE. We are not the ones putting the fear in them. We just want the criminals out of here for right now. Our first move is the criminals, the drugs, the gangs, to stop what's going on. And like you said, what is Laken Riley's life worth? What is your children's life worth? That's our first focus. But they're putting out the fear out there, and they're doing it on purpose. Give me this video. And I thought it was interesting because I'll talk about it a little more. But farm workers, give me video. I thought this story was interesting. Maybe you will too. H-2A visas. Video 11.
But the program is just way too costly and way too complicated. For now, though, Roth sees H-2A visas as the best way to keep U.S. farms running. He hires a third-party company to handle the logistics. They recruit the workers from abroad and then place them at several different farms, including Roth's.
You hire them in Mexico and you transport them over here. You pay all the transportation
You're
costs.
paying for that.
I pay all the transportation costs. We put them up in housing. We pay all the housing costs. The only thing we're allowed to charge them for is the cost of the food when we feed them.
So what is it like for these workers? So here it is about 5 o'clock in the evening, and these workers have just finished their shift at Roth Farms. They're arriving back at their housing complex. Juan Manuel and the others invite us to meet them after their workday is over. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, bien.
Yeah? What do you do this time of the day? Yeah, when you get here from work.
Comedor a las 6 de la tarde, llegamos a comer.
Dinner's at 6?
Sí.
We can go with him. He's inviting us up. Well, muchas camas aquí, no? They've been working 10 hours today. They work 6, sometimes 7 days a week. They have just a few things that they need, a few changes of clothes, some snacks, and not much privacy. Juan Manuel shows us his setup.
Noviembre.
He says what he makes is about $16.
He makes about $16 an hour. He makes about $16 an hour. And these are H2. What are the visas? They're, I had it here a minute ago. H2A visas. We can legally, look, folks, we have an invasion in the country. And quit looking that they work about 10 hours. Folks, I tell you what. Now I'm here to tell you. When I was 20 years old, I worked 6 and 7 days a week. I did. At least a minimum of 6, but 7 days a week. And I jumped down and I'm tired of this feeling sorry for somebody going to work. I jumped down in a pair of work boots at 5:30 in the morning. And I mean they were on the side of the bed and I stepped down in them. And I was out the door 5:30 in the morning. 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day. Now look, I'm not crying. I don't want to hear no SHIT. In fact, forget the asterisk. I don't want to hear no shit. I used to tape my fingers up from them bleeding. I had metal shavings in the ends of the tips of my fingers that I couldn't get out. I'm serious. I don't want to hear no damn shit. I get tired of that whining and crying. Now listen. Well, we won't have anybody to work. Well, maybe some of our kids need to go to work. I mean, my head of lettuce will be $7. It won't be $2.50 or whatever it is. But unplug your damn kids' video game. Put their ass out there and tell them pick some lettuce for, save some money for college. Well, hell, there's a thought, right? That should have never happened, but it did. I'm serious. I will tell you this, and I'll move on. I promise I'll move on. Okay. I will look in the camera and tell you what I've always told every single employee that's ever worked with me, every single person I ever worked with. I'll tell you, I respect hard work. I do. You will have my respect, hard work. But don't look for me to feel sorry for you. Wrong guy. I don't feel sorry for anyone. Don't do it. Respect hard work, but I don't want to hear it. Okay? No, hell no. I one time was coming out of I can't tell you where right now. I'll tell you a story later. And I was just a kid. Back axle snapped on a truck. I was just a kid. I was 18 years old. No, I wasn't. I wasn't 18. I was 17. I was with another guy that was like, we went to a market to pick up some stuff about 7 hours from the shop, and on the way back, it was wintertime. We were on the interstate. It was blowing snow. It was about 5 or 6 degrees, blowing snow on the interstate, cold as can be. And we snapped the back axle on a dually truck. We had to get out. We had to hitchhike in the cold at like 1 o'clock in the morning. We had to go sit and drink coffee all night long, waiting for a parts place to open. And then we had to go lay on the side of the road that mid-morning, and we had to lay on the side of the road in the mid-morning and repack a back axle that snapped and fix a back axle on the side of the interstate. Freezing to death, cold as can be. No, I don't feel sorry. You got the wrong damn person. I can give you, I'm so tired. I am so damn tired of people crying. I was, my uncle and my dad, the whole family, all right, they worked the hell out of you when we was kids, okay? So I'm a kid, 14 years old. My uncle in the summertime would back in with a truckload of watermelons. He'd have like 400 watermelons on the back of a truck in the heat of July, and he would back in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you had to get there at like 5:30 and start unloading these watermelons. And you don't know jack nothing at 14 years old. You're black as can be, dirty as can be, sweaty, a kid, till you've bounced 400 watermelons off your chest and passed them to someone else. Now I go to the damn market and I see these forklifts and these baskets, which is good, is nice. And they pick up like 50 watermelons in a thing, put them on the back of the truck. I'm like, where the hell was that back? I won't tell you what year it was, 70 something, 1970. So where was that when we had to catch every single one, right? Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I went to the Columbian Market one time with my uncle. I think I was 15 years old. My uncle took me to the Columbian Market, Columbia, South Carolina. And I'm not being racist at all. You need to hear this. I don't care who you are. You need to. I'm not being racist at all. I'm 15 years old. I get on the truck. I asked my uncle, I said, can I go to the market with you? Because I want to learn how the market works. He drives a truck. He had a big produce company. So we pull in the Columbian market. And right at the front gate, Columbia, South Carolina, watermelon season, right at the front gate, there was black guys, just all at the front gate. Can I load your truck? Can I load your truck? Can I load your truck? Sir, can I load your truck? That's all they did. They were sit there. You talk about Home Depot and Hispanics being there looking for day labor. You go to the markets now. I watched everything change. When I say everything, I watch everything change. You used to go to the markets, and right at the front gate, black guys, Columbia, South Carolina, at the market. Can I load your truck? They would wait for these people to come, and the way they made their day wages was to load your truck. As you went through and purchased from the farmers, they'd load your truck for you. All right? So we go through the gate. I'm 15 years old. The guys, can I load your truck, sir? Can I load your truck? And if you went to the market quite often, you got used to a certain guy. And I'll go ahead and give my uncle's last name. He's dead and gone. God bless his soul. And Mr. Allen, you gonna let me load the truck today? Let me get around, make my buys. When I when I do my buying and I get everything I want, watermelons, Cadillac, whatever, I'll let you know. You come, we'll load the truck. Let me get the, okay, thank you, Mr. Allen. All right, I'm 15 years old. This is a true story. So we go through. He buys 200 watermelon. He buys 500 cantaloupes, and then we're loading the back of the truck with corn and all. Like, what? So anyhow, we go load, right? Have you ever? You don't know until you have heard two black guys. They're black guys. Sing the count. Sing it. 1 watermelon, 2 watermelon, sing one. I got 3. Yeah, I'm not joking. I mean, I learned that when I was 15 years old going to the market. They'd load the truck, right? I am so tired of where we're going to get people to work. Maybe we just need to go back to work. Maybe people, we just need to work again in America. Maybe that's what we need to do. Just work again in America. I don't know. I don't know. But I hear these stories. But we do need people to work. We need people to work. And in saying that, we can get these people. This is an invasion. They've invaded our country. Okay? This is not good. Quit saying, well, we need people to work in our restaurants. Okay, let's get them. Let them work in our restaurants. Well, we need people to work in our hotels. We need people to work on our construction sites. We need people to work on our farm. Okay. But this wasn't the way to do it. To let child rapists in and to let people that raped and killed women and that brought fentanyl in, that drugged our kids. This wasn't the way to pick the damn lettuce. This wasn't it. I'm tired of hearing about the damn construction sites, the damn lettuce, the damn restaurants, we can do that. I'm okay with that. I don't give a rat's ass. I mean, I went to a Christmas party this past year, and it just made my day because I went to a Christmas party and I sit there with an old friend. He's an old friend. We were both kids. We worked together when we were kids. I remember when he came to the country. I remember in 1986, when this guy in 1986 got his papers. I remember when he got his papers, he came from Mexico. He came into Houston, through Mexico, Brownville, Texas. I remember him, and I remember all the guys in 1986 when they got their papers. I went and I sit and we talked about being kids and working just a couple months ago at a Christmas party. The both of us were working together when we were kids, and he was from Mexico. Still a friend today. We can bring them in. We can put them on the construction sites. They can work in the farms. They can work in the meat processing. They can work getting the lettuce out. Quit telling me that I can't get a damn head of lettuce unless I bring in someone that'll rape women, rape children, and bring drugs to kill our kids. I'm tired of that shit. So let Tom Homan and go clean these places out. And then if you want to bring people in to pick the damn lettuce, do it. Diane, take a break.